It's that time again. I thought we'd go back to the clock introduction instead of Big Ben, just for a change. We have the singing birds, don't we, on the Sunday episode, but the midweek message will have the clock. Now then, what have I got? 16 centigrade. Oh, it's 8:30 in the morning, bit later today. 16 centigrade, which is 60 Fahrenheit, not too bad. 82% humidity. 1017 millibars on the barometer. The sky is very, very overcast. I think it's going to be that way all day. The flag is blowing with a nice breeze from the west. It's not cold out there. 16 isn't too bad, is it? 60 Fahrenheit. I think the maximum today, the high as they call it, is either going to be sort of 21 or 23, or, according to one forecast I looked at, I don't know why I bother, 18. So anything between 18 and 23. Your guess is as good as mine. I'm going to start with an email from Ray. Hi Ray, this is about double glazing salesmen. Ray had a chap come round, a bit of a long story. We had a chap come round and the quote for a new window was 400 quid. So Ray thought, well, that's not too bad. But they asked for payment up front and he thought, what's going on here? Payment up front. So he phoned, I won't mention company names. So he phoned the company and mentioned the guy who came out. And apparently they don't send people out. This company don't send people out like that. They only make windows for the trade. So who was this guy that came out and quoted 400? Ray says, to cut a long story short, the guy that fits the windows doesn't supply them. He charges you labour, so the £400 is for the window, not for the fitting. The fitter wants 400 on top, so that's now 800. That's a scam, as Ray says, that is a scam. You've got to buy the window, then you're stuck, and you've got to have it fitted. There are so many scams about it. It's awful, isn't it? Double glazing salesmen, with all due respect, I'm sure there are some lovely ones out there. It does seem rather odd that a lot of them are just, well, they're out for the money, aren't they? Do you remember in the old days, they reckon the biggest thieves around and crooks were estate agents? That's what they used to say on the telly. I remember when I was young hearing about estate agents. No one liked estate agents. I don't know what's going on. Thanks for that, Ray. Yes, we've all got to be careful. As I said, I'm not having any more double glazing sorted out. If a window's broken or a door needs fixing, I'll do it myself. I'm not having new ones. I'm not having salesmen round here. Anyway, okay, now we're going to move on to an email from Bonnie. Hello, Bonnie. Nice to hear from you. You say that you listen to the podcast episodes to take a break from this world. I thought that was rather a nice way of putting it. Thank you for that. Bonnie says, what I like most is you don't talk about politics. No, I don't. I hate politics. Well, I mustn't mention the P word. I hate it. As Bonnie says, you turn the telly on, it's politics. You get news flashes on your phone or your watch, it's politics. You can't escape it. All around the world, there's America, there's everywhere. Politics. No, I don't like talking about it, Bonnie. There's no point. It winds everybody up, doesn't it? People have got their different views and they argue about it. What is the point? Escapism. That's what I get from these podcast episodes. Escapism back to the old days. You didn't know that, did you? You didn't know that I love talking about... When I was a boy, I used to go over to the woods and catch newts and sticklebacks in the pond and tadpoles. You didn't know that, did you? I haven't told you all about the woods. No, seriously, I won't go on about the woods at the moment. But thank you for that, Bonnie. Yes, that's a nice way of putting it. I like that. Listen to the podcast to take a break from this world. Rather nice. Oh, I must just mention dinosaurs. You remember I told you about dinosaurs last week, and I said some of them weigh 8 tons. 8 tons. I've just watched the next episode of Walking with the Dinosaurs, and some of them are estimated to be between 60 and 124 tons. Can you imagine? The thing must be the size of a skyscraper. Taller than the trees. They did the animation, and this thing's walking through the forest. It's taller than the trees. I still don't know why they grew so big. They were looking for the bones in Utah in America. Where did I say? Did I say Arizona or something? No, it's Utah. Anyway, interesting stuff. Or maybe not. I don't know. Depends what you think. That was 130 million years ago. Up to 124 tons. What is that in kilos or whatever? I dread to think. A little bit more on Bonnie's email. She says, have you lost things in relationship breakups? I don't think I have. Well, records, yes. In the old days, I'd perhaps have a girlfriend and she'd have some of my records round her place. We'd split up and then I've lost some of my records. I couldn't get them back. I couldn't get a television back once. I remember this girl had a flat and she didn't have a telly. So I lent her my telly, which was in my a bedroom at home because I still lived at home. And we split up and she kept my telly. It didn't matter because I was in the trade, so I just got another one from work. What Bonnie is getting at is relationships like marriage or long-term relationships. What have you lost? That's an interesting... Shall we talk about that on Sunday, or is that boring? Sorry, Bonnie, I don't mean to say your idea is boring. It might be sad for some people, though. What have you lost? Houses? You get divorced and, well, that was expensive. I've lost the house. I've got nowhere to live. Cars? Just out of interest, see what anyone's lost. Raise rants at protonmail.com. Lovely to hear from you, Bonnie. Thank you for your email, and thank you to everyone else for the emails. I can't mention everyone, of course. I will just mention Mark from Ireland. Have a look on YouTube for Scary Era. Era meaning island. E-I-R-E is how it's spelt. Scary Era. I've listened to one or two recently and they're really good, especially if you're into the paranormal. Scary Era. Excellent. Well done, Mark. Nice to hear from you. Also, where's my bit of paper? I've got someone else written down here. Isn't it hopeless? Malcolm, USA. A new listener. Welcome aboard, Malcolm. Lovely to hear from you. Glad you're enjoying the podcast episodes. Stone the Crows, the gas men are back in the street with their pneumatic drills. Hopefully you can't hear that. We will just go back to the woods for a minute when I was a boy. Only for a minute. Don't worry, don't switch off. Do you remember in the old days, I don't know whether they have them now, notices in the woods, trespassers will be prosecuted. Now, of course, kids looking up at that notice nailed to a tree, as I used to look up to the notice nailed to the tree, kids think, what's in there then? Why can't we go in there? What's in there? And of course that was an invitation to go and trespass, wasn't it? Well, it was for us lot anyway. We'd go over the woods and we'd see a notice like that. We'd go and have a look. We'd climb through or over the barbed wire fence, creep around in the woods, looking for reasons we shouldn't be in there. The reason was basically it was the farmers or whoever's land, and they didn't want us lot roaming around, climbing their trees and whatever. But it was like an invitation for us to go and have a look, rather like something on a computer. If it says, don't press this button, do not press this button, you have to press it, don't you, to see what it does, to see why you mustn't press it. We were in the woods once and we came across a notice, trespassers will be prosecuted. So we went over the fence and had a look, and we found a big lake, a beautiful lake. And there was a notice there, private fishing and all this, blah, 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 you will be prosecuted. Kids will be shot on sight. Well, it didn't say that. I think that's what they were implying. No. So we were looking at this lake thinking, this is good, we could do a spot of fishing here. So we got our fishing gear another day. We got our fishing gear and went over to the woods. We ignored the notice, trespassers will be prosecuted. We went over to the lake. We ignored the notice, private fishing only, you will be shot on sight. No, it didn't say that. And we started fishing, and we were catching roach and perch. And we're thinking, this is great fun. Summer's day, beautiful weather, lovely. Till this chap turned up with a shotgun. 12-bore, double-barrel shotgun broken over his arm. What are you lot doing here? Get out of it. Well, you shouldn't be here. What's your name? I want your names and addresses. He went on and on like this. I must just say that in the past, sorry about the background noise in the street, it's a gas man, or gas men. In the past, we had found other lakes, well, one other lake, and the landowner, whoever he was, he came across us fishing in his lake, and he was great. He didn't mind at all. He said, look, you're not meant to be here, but I was young once. I know what it's like. You can carry on fishing, but put the fish back. Don't kill them. Put them back. Oh, it's the dustman. No peace for the wicked. They've gone now. It's the dustman and the gasman. This used to be a quiet area, this. It's just because they're digging up the road and the dustmen only come once a year anyway. Well, it seems like once a year. So this landowner was great. But this other chap, obviously a gamekeeper or something, he was not so great. He took our names and addresses, except we lied. We gave him false names and addresses, so we didn't ever hear anything again, obviously. Whether he went to the cops or not, I don't know, probably not. But we never went back there again. But what a lovely lake. I wonder whether it's still there. I can remember where it was. Beautiful lake. Anyway, that's enough about the woods and things like that. When I was a boy. Well, who was it? Jennifer. Hello, Jennifer. I mentioned, was it last week, about the word girl in the very, very early days meant a young child. of either sex, girl or boy. I think the term is gender neutral or something, isn't it? I don't know what it is. Anyway, Jennifer says, would you like to have been a girl, Ray? Well, I don't know. I don't. How can I answer that? I don't know what it's like to be a girl. One thing I do remember in my teens, when I started going out with girls, we'd go out somewhere, I don't know, we'd go to a pub or wherever. I'd have to get the drinks. What would you like? Vodka and water? Oh, okay. Large gin and tonic? Oh, okay. I'll have a half a pint then. Just a half of bitter or half a lager, because your drink's about 10 times the price of mine. And it was always down to me to buy the drinks. Girls didn't ask me out. Well, obviously a lot did, because I was so good looking. I still am. But seriously, boys asked girls out. It was very rarely the other way round. It did happen, and to be honest, it did happen to me. But normally it was down to the boy. He asked the girl out. He'd pick her up in his car. He'd take her out. He'd buy her drinks. He'd take her home in his car. It was all down to the boy. And I used to think it must be nice to be a girl. You're asked out, would you like a drink? Oh, thanks. That's nice. I used to think it would be nice to be a girl. But I'm a boy. As the Who record, what did the Who sing? I'm a boy, but my ma won't admit it. Well, I'm a boy and my ma always has admitted it, so that's good. I think I've banged on enough. 11 and a half minutes. So now I've got to prepare for Sunday. Do you want to do a thing about what we've lost in relationships over the years? I know a lot of people that have lost houses, cars. Some people, sadly, have lost touch with their children due to divorce and stuff like that, lost touch with the kids. So I don't know, it's just a thought. That was Bonnie's idea, wasn't it? So if no one likes it, we'll blame Bonnie. Ray's Rants at protonmail.com. Right, be good, be bad, don't get caught and all that rubbish. And I shall see you, where are we? On Sunday. I don't even know what day it is, isn't it? Awful. I shall see you on Sunday. Thank you for listening. It's been a pleasure chatting with you. Bye-bye for now.